Next on the agenda is House File 1562. That's the next one, correct? Or
Yes.
That's next. Okay, just want to make sure there's two here. So, Rep. Hansen, would you like to move your bill?
Yes, Madam Chair. I will move that House File 1562 be recommended to be re-referred to the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Reform Finance and Policy Committee.
Representative Hansen also has an author's amendment. Representative Hansen, will you move that amendment and explain it briefly?
Yes, Madam Chair. I'll move the A2 amendment, and I'd like to incorporate an oral amendment to the A2 amendment on page 3, line 4, delete 2020 and insert 2022.
Representative Hansen incorporates the changes into that A2 amendment. We'll put that oral amendment in there. Representative Hansen moves the A2 amendment with those changes incorporated. Representative Hansen to the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The A2 amendment with the incorporation does the following. It deletes section 1 of the bill, includes language from Representative Jordan's House File 1210 as amended that prohibits neonicotinoids and chlorpyrifos on state lands, includes language from Representative Vang's Turtle Bill, House File 387, deletes Blaze Pink, requires non-toxic shots on WMAs in the farmland zone started July 1, 2022, and that bill has been passed off the House floor a couple of times.
Representative Hansen moves the A2 amendment to get the bill in the form the author would like. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
The amendment is adopted. Representative Hansen to your bill as amended.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the 2021 DNR policy bill. I have Ms. Annalee Garlitz to walk through the DNR provisions in the bill.
Ms. Garlitz, if you would introduce yourself for the record and then proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Annalee Garlitz, and I'm with the Department of Natural Resources. Today, I'll walk through the bill, our 2021 policy bill, as it was introduced. You should have a fact sheet there in front of you. It was attached to the meeting posting as well for those watching online. This bill is much shorter than our 2020 policy bill, so I should be able to get through it pretty quickly. Section 1 of the bill as introduced, which has now been amended, this particular piece was brought to DNR's attention through some discussions that we had, and this would amend section 11A.236 and it would allow DNR to invest financial assurance money collected from mining permits through the State Board of Investment. Section 2 amends 84.946 to adjust the reporting deadline for natural resource asset preservation and replacements projects. This would just allow us to get the information in so that we could have a more complete and comprehensive report to the legislature. Section 3 amends Minnesota Statute 85.054 to waive the state vehicle permit for guests staying overnight on state park open house days. So when there is an open state park open house day, if somebody's staying overnight, they wouldn't have to pay the entrance fee until they check out in the next morning. And that's how it's been in practice. And we just wanted to make sure that we had that in statute. Section 4 amends Minnesota Statute 94B.055 to make it illegal to shoot a decoy placed by a conservation officer from a vehicle. And that clarifies some statute based on, it's my understanding, some court proceedings that have happened. Section 5 amends 94B.071 to require blaze orange or pink for blinds on public land during the deer firearms season. Section 6 amends 97B.811 to allow motorized decoys throughout the waterfowl season. Section 7 amends 97C.605 to prohibit the taking of turtles using firearms, bows, and spears. And this was also part of a bill that you had before you that Representative Vang carried. And same with Section 8, we also included this in Representative Vang's bill, which amends 97C.611 to prohibit the take of spiny soft-shell turtles due to vulnerability of the species and DNR's concerns about the population of the species. And with that, I will stand for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Garlitz. We also have Ann Pierce from the DNR, I understand, here to answer questions as well. That's all I have for testifiers. If members have questions about the bill? I see Representative Heinzman.
Yeah, I have a number of questions. We have obviously discussed many of the provisions in the amendment. So I'm not going to go over those as I'd like to, but one of the issues that I would take with the presentation of the bill is that this is the DNR policy bill. Well, there are elements, there's no question that are, but there are some controversial elements that were introduced in the amendment, and that is a part of the bill as we're discussing it today. So I would just mention that because of those amendments, unfortunately, I can't support what would otherwise be, I think, a lot of important changes that DNR would like to make. And, I hope in the process that we have an opportunity to vote for something that we can agree on, something that DNR brought to the committee. Unfortunately, we don't have that opportunity today. So, I'm going to leave it at that. I suppose other members may have some questions. I may just quickly ask one, Representative Hansen. So, there's been a long battle over blaze pink. And here again, we're going to take away that opportunity for those like my family. We've spent a pretty significant amount of money because some of the members of my family really appreciate the opportunity to buy a little bit different kind of clothing when it comes to deer hunting. And you're going to pick on those folks and tell them, no, you can't use that anymore during deer hunting. And, I think we've all beat to death the horse that there are a very small number of folks that have difficulty seeing blaze pink, but, I just don't think it justifies the removal of that opportunity for those. And I hope you have some comments for those folks that have spent quite a lot of money getting ready. I mean, you might remember your grandfather's clothing from deer hunting. He probably wore it for many years like mine. In the case of my grandfather, he wore the same thing for about 30 years. And now we're telling people that you may have made an investment. Now we're going to take that away. Could you please explain?
Thank you.
Chair Hansen.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Representative Heinzman. You are correct. We used to wear red clothing, our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents, and then blaze orange was developed and implemented. The provision that was in the DNR policy bill was allowing on ground blinds the blaze orange and the blaze pink. So first we're striking the blaze pink there. And what I've seen on ground blinds is they may have a strip or two of the blaze color. It is hard to see blaze pink in there. And we've had testimony, I know you've heard it on the floor. Representative Freiberg is colorblind and having the inability to see it. So yes, there may be a few people who are colorblind, but it just takes, as we know in our gun safety training, it just takes one error if you can't see somebody for a horrible mistake to occur. And so we have debated this on and on before, but the evidence there, this was added after much debate, and for safety, we believe it's important to go back to that blaze orange only option rather than having the blaze pink.
Representative Heinzman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I have heard those debates, Representative Hansen, as have you. And in the end, the decision was made that this was going to be an option, that blaze pink was going to be available. And to my knowledge, there has not been any incident in the 4 to 5 years that this has been legal, that somebody has been negatively affected. And, to that point, there are those that have difficulty seeing even blaze orange. But that doesn't mean that we decide, to take and completely revamp everything. There is advancements that come along, and who knows what the next advancement might be in technology. Maybe there's a color out there that absolutely everybody can see under every condition. But the truth is we license people that are colorblind, and I don't think we should take a hunter's rights away if they happen to not be able to see a certain color as well as maybe a majority of folks. It gets into some funny conversations that we wind up having to kind of go through and figure out bit by bit, piece by piece. But I just don't think that it makes any sense to undo you know, years and years and years of people's investment into clothing that they would like to use when they hunt. You know, so I'm mentioning that, but of course there's a number of other policy items that you introduced in your amendment, Representative Hansen, and so thank you for the indulgence to have a conversation about this particular one.
Madam Chair.
Chair Hansen.
So this, my understanding of the path is this will go to public safety, primarily for that decoy shooting component, and then it will come back to this committee. And we are going to have to build a bill that goes through not only this committee, but also goes through the floor and gets signed into law. So Representative Heinzman will continue to work with you on these issues. There are things that we disagree with, and we will probably continue to disagree with, but let's keep working on these things. I think, you know, it takes some time sometimes, but we want to make sure that people are safe in the woods. So.
Any other member questions? I'm not seeing any hands raised here. Give it a second. All right, Representative Hansen, any closing remarks?
We will see this again. I think it's a good bill. It's incorporated a number of things that we've heard and debated. Representative Jordan's bill, the lead provision is out of the Heritage Enhancement Account, not general fund, and that has been thoroughly vetted over the years. So it asks for your support, and I would renew my motion that 1562 as amended be recommended that we refer to the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Reform and Finance and Policy Committee.
That is a mouthful. Representative Hansen renews his motion that House File 1562 as amended be recommended to be re-referred to Public Safety and Criminal Justice Reform, Finance and Policy Committee. The clerk will take the roll.
Hansen, Rick.
Aye.
Hansen, aye. Wozlowick, Amy.
Wozlowick, aye.
Wozlowick, aye. Heinzeman, Josh.
No.
Heinzeman, no. Acom, Patty.
Aye.
Acom, aye. Ackland, Susan.
Ackland, no.
Ackland, no. Backer, Jeff.
Becker votes no.
Becker, no. Becker, Finn, Jamie. Becker, Finn, Jamie. Eklund, Rob.
Aye.
Eklund, aye. Fisher, Peter.
Fisher, aye.
Fisher, aye. Green, Steve.
No.
Green, no. I go, Spencer.
No.
I go, no. Jordan, Sydney.
Aye.
Jordan, aye. Keeler, Heather.
Keeler, aye.
Keeler, aye. Lee, Fu.
Lee, aye.
Lee, aye. Lippert, Todd.
Lippert, aye.
Lippert, aye. Lewick, Dale.
Lewick, no.
Lewick, no. Morrison, Kelly.
Morrison, aye.
Morrison, aye. Nelson, Nathan.
Nelson, no.
Nelson, no. Tice, Tama.
Tice, no.
All right, we'll just circle back. Becker, Finn, Jamie. That is
another committee.
The motion prevails and the bill is on its way to next committee stop.